everyone, it's Rose and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be doing a huge book haul. I have over 50 books here to show you guys, so I would like to preface by saying this is not just an average bookshop. This has been months in the making. These are books from Christmas, from my birthday, ones I've been sent by publishers, and some I have bought myself. But the majority of them I did not buy myself, so please do not think that I just got all of these in one afternoon. It has been collecting up for you guys. We are just going to talk through the books I've got. I don't know a lot about some of them because a lot of them are thrillers and I like going into thrillers blind. And also if we spent ages on each book, this video would be hours long. So without further ado, let's start off with books I've been sent. The first book is Half His Age by Jeanette McCurdy. This was sent to me by HarperCollins and this is Jeanette McCurdy's latest release. I'm very interested to see what she does with a fiction book. I think this book is about an age gap and about grooming, and I'd be interested to see her take on fiction. Then I have Girls Who Play Dead by Joelle Wellington. This is another book I was sent by HarperCollins, by Harper Fire actually. This is a young adult thriller. I don't really know too much about it because I like going into thrillers blind, but the back says it's an unputdownable suburban gothic mystery thriller, and that sounds right up my street. Then we have another book sent to me by HarperCollins. They are the best and I love them. This is I Killed the King by Rebecca Mix and Andrea Hanna. I originally thought this was a thriller, but there's actually fantasy elements in it. It says 1 dead king, 6 suspects, 12 hours to uncover the truth, and I'm very interested because a fantasy thriller sounds like something I would absolutely eat up. Then we have a book sent to me by, HarperCollins again. This is The Opportunist by Taryn Fisher. And it's about a woman who sees her ex-boyfriend from years ago and she goes up to him and finds out he's suffering from amnesia and doesn't know who she is. And then an opportunity arises from that, which sounds absolutely evil and like something I want to read. We have a book I was sent by Penguin. This is actually a proof, and it comes out on the 4th of June. This is called A Little Bit Bad. Dazzlingly wild, darkly funny debut about desire, obsession, motherhood, marriage, and the irresistible intoxication of being a little bit bad. Another proof here from Penguin. This is called My Sister's Secret by Jane Corey, and this is a thriller. It says all families have history, but this one's deadly. We have some fantasy books here. This is Catabasis by R.F. Kuang. This is one I am very intimidated by. It was, once again, sent to me by HarperCollins. I love you guys, and you seem to love me too. I think this is a book about hell, like 9 rings of hell or something, and they've got to go through them all. I don't really know, and I'm very intimidated by this, but I'm very excited for it. Then again, by HarperCollins or Harper Voyager, we have Warrior Princess Assassin by Bridget Camera, and this is apparently it's either a love triangle or a throuple situation, and it's a fantasy, and these are actually 3 different people. It's not a warrior princess assassin, it's a warrior, a princess, and an assassin. We have To Bleed a Crystal Bloom by Sarah A. Parker. This has been traditionally published now, and I've wanted to read it for so long. It's our nature to fall in love with the shackles that bind us. Very excited. It is such a gorgeous cover as well. And these few books were sent to me by my book besties for my birthday. We have Heavenly Bodies by Imani Eriyu. This was sent to me by Dr. Meg. Dr. Meg, I love you. This is astrology-based fantasy romance, I think. I kind of don't know too much about this book, but I have seen it everywhere and I've seen such good ratings, so I cannot wait. Then we have A Mate by Ali Hazelwood. This was sent to me by Meg, not Dr. Meg, Ginger Meg. I love you, thank you. And this is the sequel to Bride by Ali Hazelwood, which was one of my 5-star reads from last year or the year before. I'm not too sure, but I'm very excited to read the sequel. And then Bestie Jess sent me a Waterstones voucher, and one of the books I got from that was the first book in the Playing for Keeps series. Yes, this is the heated rivalry books everyone is talking about. So I got the first one, which is Game Changer. I am not someone that could have just read Heated Rivalry and its sequel. I need to read all 6 books and I need to read them in order, so I got book 1. This is gay hockey romance. That's all I know, and that's all I want to know. I just want to have a good time. Then I I think I won an entire series, or I was just sent it by the publishers. I'm not quite sure. I cannot remember if I signed up to something or I was just gifted them. But this is the entire Lady of Darkness series by Melissa K. Rorick. I have wanted to read these for years, and then just as I was about to start them, they then got traditionally published and I didn't have access to them while they were all coming out, and now they're all out and I have them all. Of course, it was HarperCollins that sent me these. Oh my god, I just love HarperCollins. Anyway, this is a fantasy romance series. I've seen such amazing things and I cannot wait to read them. Book 1 is Lady of Darkness. Then we have Lady of Shadows, Lady of Ashes, and then Lady of Embers. And the last full book is Lady of Starfire. But then we have this little novella here. I think it's 2 novellas, and it is called Winds of Darkness. I have been absolutely spoiled recently. And let's move on to the mess that is the rest of the books. I don't really think they have an order, guys. This is another book I got with the Waterstones voucher from Bestie Jess. This is It Should Have Been You by Andrea Mara, and I have seen this everywhere right now. I think someone is killed and our main character was supposed to be the target, but I don't really know. Again, I love going into thrillers knowing nothing, which makes these videos really hard because I can't really tell you anything. But you'll just have to wait and see what I think. Then I went out for the day with my nana. We went around the charity shops and I ended up picking up 7 books. The first one is one of my current reads right now. This is The Institution by Helen Fields, and this is about a profiler that has gone into this institution for criminally insane serial killers, and she's trying to figure out a mystery, so she's interviewing them all, and they have done some messed up stuff. This is very gruesome and I'm loving it. Then we have The Cottage by Lisa Stone, which I have already read, and I rated it 3.5 stars. This is about a woman who's house sitting at this cottage, and then she's convinced there are these creatures banging on the windows late at night, but no one believes her, and when she tries to get proof, things get in the way of that, shall we say. I knew where this was going from the beginning, but I really hoped it wasn't, and then it was. But that did not take away from how absolutely disgusting it is and gory it is. Please, like, even if you're a thriller lover, prepare yourself before you go into this. It's absolutely horrific, and it was told so well. Then we have I See You by Claire McIntosh. I don't really know anything about this book, but I've seen Claire McIntosh on BookTok before, and I've heard some good things, so I picked it up. We've got The Castaways by Lucy Clark. It says, you wake up on a beautiful remote island, sparkling blue seas, golden sunsets, barely a footprint in the sand. Yet this is no ordinary escape. So there's been a plane wreck, and I don't know if I want to tell you anymore because I don't know if I want to read any more of the back because I like going into them blind, like I have said. Then we have Girl Forgotten by Karen Sauter. I don't want to read the back of this one because it's the second book in a series, but I am trying to read all of Karen Sauter's backlist, and I saw this one at the shop and I don't own it yet, so I picked it up. Then we have First Wife's Shadow by Adele Parks. It says his first wife died, now there's a vacancy. So I'm intrigued. We have The Last to Disappear by Jo Spain. This says a luxury winter resort, 3 missing women. Who will be the last to disappear? I read that quite wrong, but this sounds good. Okay, I've done some rearranging so that I can actually show you guys the rest of these books. This is my current read, so it does not have the dust jacket on it, but this is My Husband's Wife by Alice Feeney. I am currently 44 pages in and I'm loving it. I have no clue what is going on and I'm not supposed to, and I have no idea how this is going to result, how this is going to end up, what the hell is going on. Now let's go through some fantasy and fantasy romance. First up, we have the Poppy War trilogy by R.F. Kuang. I really want to get into R.F. Kuang's books this year, which is why I have Catabasis and these 3. This was gifted to me for Christmas, and this is an epic fantasy about war and suffering and oppression, I'm pretty sure, and I'm excited to have my heart broken, but I'm very, very scared. This is a book that I don't actually know what genre it is. People have called it all sorts of things. I've heard romance, I've heard dark academia, I've heard mystery, I think I've heard fantasy. I don't know, but it is Nightshade by Autumn Woods. Can you tell I am very confused about this book? I am also very intrigued though. These next 4 books I have bought myself over the last few months. First up, we have Brimstone by Carly Hart. This is going to be very hard to show on camera because my light does not like the foil. This is the sequel to Quicksilver. It has these golden sprayed edges, and I'm really excited to get to this one. I don't know why I haven't read it yet. Then, I mean, this isn't fantasy, but it kind of fits in this section. We have Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. The only reason I haven't read this is because I know it's going to break my heart. This is Hamish's story, if you don't know somehow. And I'm really scared for how I'm going to be after I have finished this. Then we have The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy by Bridget Knightley. The best love stories begin with hate at first sight. And I'm excited. I've heard this is very, very slow burn. And then I have Direbound by Sable Sorensen. This is the first book in the Wolves of Ruin series, and this is about direwolves that you can bond to by going through trials, I think. And I am so excited. I've heard the best things. Okay, next we have 3 sci-fi books by Blake Crouch. I've just realised I did get more books from Blake Crouch, but I don't know where they are on my shelves. I did get the Wayward Pines trilogy from him, but I don't know where they are, but I've already read them. Anyway, I read them and realised I wanted to read more of his books because I think he does sci-fi in such an accessible way for someone who is very scared of sci-fi and is not very, doesn't read very high brain powered books, if that makes sense. Sci-fi sounds like I'd need more attention than I have. So I really want to dip my toes into it. We have Upgrade, and I don't know what this is about, but it says you are the next step in human evolution. And then we have Recursion, and this says, what if someone could rewrite your entire life? And then one of his most popular books, we have Dark Matter, and this says, are you happy in your life? So I think it's like alternate reality type stuff. Can you tell I don't get sci-fi? I think the rest are all thriller / horror, so let's just get into the mess of books that's behind me. I've been putting off these ones because they're all a mix-up of stuff. First up, we have a set of a bunch of Steve Kavanagh's books. I was gifted these for my birthday. I think this is a series, but I am not 100% sure. We have got Twisted, The Defense, The Plea, and then The Liar, and then 13, which is one of the most popular ones. I have seen that cover before. And then 50+, which I've also seen a lot. And then The Devil's Advocate. Next up, I have got some books by Katarina Diamond, which again I got for Christmas. The first one is The Heatwave. I read this recently and I rated it 4 stars. It had one of the best plot twists I have read about in such a long time. I could not have seen it coming. This book has like under 2,000 reviews on Goodreads. It is so criminally underrated and I am so glad that I picked it up. We have a series by her, I'm pretty sure. The first one is The Teacher, which I ended up rating 3 stars. It was good, but there were so many different POVs. There were so many characters and then the characters kept getting killed off and then we had more characters replacing them and then they were getting killed off. I had a whole notes app trying to figure out who was who. So that is why it was 3 stars, because the plot was good but so confusing. The next one is The Secret. Then we have The Angel, The Promise, and then Truth or Die, which I think I've seen that cover before, and then Woman in the Water. Then we have The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager, which I got for Christmas. I am very hit or miss with Riley Sager's books, but this one is the one I've heard the most about. It's like such a huge book and I'm very excited to read it for myself. Then we have Local Woman Missing by Mary Kubica. This is another one that I've heard so much about and I cannot wait to read for myself. 5 books from Claire Douglas. I recently read a book from her and I absolutely loved it, so I got these 5 I think for my birthday. We have got Last Seen Alive, Local Girl Missing, then The Wrong Sister, then The Woman Who Lied, and The Girls Who Disappeared, which I've seen the most about. We are nearly there, guys. The rest of these are all standalones, so I'm gonna rapid fire through them. This is Confessions by Kanae Minato. This is about a school teacher whose daughter was killed and she's convinced some of the boys in her class did it. And I think she kind of like holds them hostage to try and figure it out. And we've got The Butcher by Jennifer Hillier. I don't know much about it because I want to go into it blind, but I have seen so many people, everyone has read this book and I'm like the last one to read it, I feel. But I got this for my birthday. Then we have His and Hers by Alice Feeney. This and her most latest release are the two books that I have left to read. Every other book on her backlist I have read and absolutely loved. And this is now a Netflix show and I'm scared to get it spoiled, so it's pushed me to read it. Then we have Creep by Jennifer Hillier. I have a feeling it is about a creep. We have All Her Fault by Andrea Mara. This is a very popular TV show now and I really want to read the book. This is the one about a woman who goes to pick her son up from having a play date and the nanny answers the door and is like, I don't know who that boy is, but he is not at my house. And that sounds like a nightmare. And then the absolute final book, I can't believe we've got to the end. I saw these pile of books and thought we would never get here, is one I used that Waterstone voucher to buy. Thank you, Jess, for spoiling me. This is The September House by Carissa Orlando. This is, I think, more horror than thriller. And I think this is like a cursed house, but the woman who bought it is in denial because she doesn't want to give in and leave, so horrific stuff starts happening. Those are all the books in this book haul. Yes, this video has finally come to an end. I will be cutting out a bunch of my rambling because I would like this video to not be hours long for you guys. Once again, it's been months in the making. I am very grateful for all the books I've gotten and I would never be able to afford all of these if I had just bought them all myself for this video. If you've read any of these, please tell me which ones I need to prioritize because I have no clue where to start. With that, I'm going to end this video here. If you'd like to see more from me, please be sure to like and subscribe as I post new videos every single week. I hope you have a lovely day and I will see you in another video. Bye!